Hi everyone, this is Prem here from First Green, and welcome to today's webinar on testing and monitoring of solar plants. And today we have two speakers, and fortunately, Dr. Sanjay Vasista is unable to connect. So, Dr. Sanjay is CEO of First Green Consultant, and also we have Mr. Kaurav Verma, he is a manager, sales and technical support at Isothermal Technology Private Limited. And it is our pleasure to have him as a part of this webinar. So to start with, he will start the presentation now. Yes, sir. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Uh, hello. Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Gaurav Kumar Verma. I'm working as a manager in Isothermal Technology Private Limited, uh, New Delhi. And I'd like to first of all, I'd like to convey my sincere regards to Dr. Sanjay Vasist and First Green team who has given me this opportunity to uh, to conduct this webinar on solar testing and monitoring of SPV power plants. So here I am starting the presentation right now. This presentation is totally based on the testing and monitoring of SPV plant. My responsibility is here to taking care of business as well as technical support on plant testing and report monitoring of solar power plant at DC site. This is my responsibilities here in Isothermal Technology Private Limited. This is our company's small introduction. We are Isothermal Technology. We are a UK based company, and we are basically involved in the turnkey power project solution. We used to set up the C&I lab and electrical lab in thermal power project. Apart from this, we are also in the solar field. We are supplying and we are giving support for the power plant measurement, then power plant performance analysis. This is our working area. In this webinar, we will cover below topics. As you can see, its first one is the plant performance monitoring at DC site, safety consideration while doing plant testing, what what tools we required for testing and commissioning of solar power plants, and the last one is the latest trends in testing of solar plants at maximum voltage up to 1500 volt DC. Why testing and monitoring is important? As we all know that if any of the electrical system as we all know, any electrical system can be tested and verify performance time to time. And as we all know that photovoltaic system is his behavior is getting changed time by time. So this is the main reason why performance of PV system should be monitored, analyzed time to time. So for that purpose, we can use some kind of tools to check the performance of a string, to check the performance of a solar panel, whether it is whether the value what we are getting in the real time condition, uh, will that value is as per our expectations or not, or if there is some problem in the strings or in the power plant or in the solar panel. So in that case, we have to take the further action, what all action needs to get taken care for. So the a professional monitoring system can reduce losses at solar power plants. So as we all know that in our solar power plant, we are using testing tools like multimeters, clamp meters, earth resistance testers, then insulation testers, then also some professional. Here we have mentioned the word professional monitoring system. In this professional monitoring system, my purpose of this word to mention is like some kind of professional tools like IV curve tester, thermal imaging cameras, then EL tester. These kind of professional tools are very useful for the power plants to diagnose the performance analysis. Basically, your safety is paramount. Every time when we are going for the testing of solar power plant, if whether it doesn't matter whether we are testing a solar panel or we are testing a complete string or combination of a string, we have to make sure that our safety is first, because we are testing at 1000-volt system and 1500-volt system, and this is quietly hazardous. So in that case, we have to put some insulated gloves in our hand while doing the testing, so to prevent the electric shocks. Then leather gloves is required, some kind of PPE kits is also required, impact helmets, eye protector, because we are working at 1500-volt system. If we are not doing these kind of if we are not if you are not following these kind of rules, like wearing gloves and PPE kits, then this might be the possibility that at the time of testing, if suppose any kind of fault has happened, suppose any bad connection is there, suppose any leakage current is there, then there might be the possibilities that a small shock we will get, and that will be a very dangerous to for the dangerous for the human being as well as for the power plants. So this is the things we have to make sure while doing that before going for the testing. And remember to isolate the AC side of the array, as we are testing at the DC side. We are testing the solar panel, we are testing the strings, so we have to always isolate the AC side of the array, then we have to start the testing. Why 1500-volt system? Higher voltage strings mean lower current, resulting in a reduction of power loss. Like earlier, as we all know that earlier in our power plants, the maximum system voltage was 1000-volt only. But from last 1.5 years and 2 years, what we are seeing, the maximum system voltage has gone up to 1500-volt DC. And what this will do, it will 50% longer strings than 1000-volt, means less wiring. As you can clearly understand, the less wiring will be there, less combiner box will be there, less connectors will be required, so this will directly reduce the cost of a power plant. So this is the 15, this is the this is the main major advantage of 1500-volt system. Plus the labor cost of the installation, everything, it will reduce the final costing of your power plant during the EPC, during the commissioning. So that is why 1500-volt system uh, is actually is our current scenario in the power plant. This is the pre-testing preparation. If whenever we are going for the testing at solar power plant, we have to make a preparation of a pre-testing, whether PV array is completely okay or not, whether there is a whether if there is a cable damage, or if there is a connector is not okay, connector is damaged, or if a solar panel is completely broken. So in that case, we will not conduct the test. We have to make sure it's a kind of visual inspection, we can say. So from the visual inspection, we can directly clarify whether we have to start the test, or we have to first see the condition of a panel or a string or a power plant. Okay, then we have to start the testing. Like these kind of conditions we might face during the testing, like MC4 connectors or MC3 connectors will get burnt, and some kind of cable got damaged. So every time we have to make sure while doing the test, before going for the testing and commissioning. If the modules are dirty, clean them prior to testing. This is the most important part. Whenever we are going for the testing, we have to make sure that the solar panels are completely clean. Okay, otherwise if it is dirty and the dust are there on the panels, it will directly impact our power generation. It will directly impact our power generation. It will directly impact your current value, your ISC, your IMP, all the values will get down, and this will clearly impact your final power at real time condition. And if your final power, if your P max at real time condition will be at the lower side, and that will clearly impact your STC values also. So in that case, we won't be able to justify the values, whatever the values we are getting at STC, and whatever the module manufacturers is saying, we can't able to justify those values. So we have to make sure to clean the solar panel before start the testing. This is the most important part. Then low light condition will result in inaccurate measurement. So while doing the testing of a solar panel, if you are doing a testing of a solar panel or a string, we have to make sure that it has to be done at a good sunlight condition. The radiation level should be minimum 600 or 650 watt per meter square. If it is less than 600 or 6 or 650 watt per meter square, then we will get the values. We will definitely get the values, whether it's a radiation of 200 or 300 or 400, but that value will not be authenticate enough to justify the clients, to justify your values, to justify, to conclude any kind of final results. So every time when we are going for the measurement, we have to make sure that radiation should be around in the range of 650, at least minimum 650 watt per meter square. So that is why, now if we are testing a solar panel, the peak time of testing a solar panel will be morning 10:30 o'clock till 3 or 3:30 in the afternoon. So that is why this is the main frame time period for doing the testing. Then mount your irradiation meter and temperature sensor in the same plane and inclination as the array. If you are testing a solar panel from any kind of IV testing unit, then as we all know that solar panel is totally working on the radiation value and temperature. So along with the equipment, you will get one radiation meter and one temperature sensor. The temperature sensor itself is having two systems. One will give you the ambient temperature, and second one will give you the module temperature. The module temperature, you just need to connect that thermocouple to the back side of your solar panel, and it will give you the temperature value. And the main unit, the soul sensor, will the radiation sensor you have to mount along with the solar panel, and that will give you the exact radiation at the same tilt, because it has inbuilt inclinometer that will give you the tilt angle. These are the testing standards. As we all know, IEC standards are the main thing in which every testing equipment has followed some standards. So if you are talking about the IV testing or solar power plant testing, na IEC 62446 and few more standards like IEC 61829, then IEC 60891. These are the few standards which are related to the photovoltaic system, whether it's a grid connected or it's a STC converted. So these are the few standards we are following along. We are following. Uh, we are following in the instrument exactly. So before going for a testing of a solar power plant, we have to make sure that the safety aspects are okay or not. So for the safety aspect, we can measure few parameters like earth continuity. Earth continuity, you can check the earth continuity value between your solar panel and your earth pit, and it has to be always on the lower side, because you are measuring the earth continuity. It will be always in the range of 0.02 ohm, 0.03 ohm, or zero point 0.1 ohm. It will be always in the range of this one, 0.05, 0.01. So we have to so earth continuity is the one point. This will be ensure that your system, your solar panel or your string is properly grounded or not. So this is the safety aspect parameter which we are following in our during the IV testing. This is the one method actually you have to follow while doing the earth continuity testing. You just need to connect like this. One cable will connect to the structure of your solar panel, and other one will connect to the earth pit of your earth pit, and one press of a button, we will get the earth continuity values on the instrument. And we can say, after seeing the values, that yes, our system is properly, or properly, continuity is perfectly okay, so our system is completely safe. Then second one is the insulation resistance. Insulation resistance is also a part of safety parameters, as we all know that we are using Megger in our power plant up to 1 kV, 2 kV, 2.5 kV, 5 kV, and 10 kV and so on. So here in our solar power plant, we are using we are also we are also measuring insulation resistance up to 1 kV and 2 kV and maximum up to 5 kV. So in here, this is also a safety aspect parameter. You just need to, if you want to test insulation level between the cables, that also you can test, or if you want to test the insulation level between the positive and negative of your solar panel cable and between the earth. So this is the 1 kV maximum up to 1 kV insulation level. You can one up to maximum up to 1 kV system voltage, you can test insulation resistance. We have to test that plant testing. How can we conduct the plant testing? Combiner box testing. In each of the power plant, as we can see, the combiner box is available. So we have to safely open the combiner box, and we have to if you want, if suppose if you want to test at directly at string monitoring level, so what we need to do, we need to open the we need to open the fuses, and we can connect with the crocodile connectors, and we can make the measurement. And suppose if there is one more option, suppose if you want to test directly with the connectors, we just need to open the MC4 connect, positive and negative MC4 connectors of a solar panel or a string, and you can connect directly with the compatible MC4 or MC3 connector of the equipment, and immediately we will get all the parameters on the screen. It will it will give us the I will tell you the parameters what it will give you in the next slides, in the next few slides. It's a string level testing. It's should be a two-man process always, because one person is responsible to open the connector and connect the cables, and to follow the safety procedures, then personal protecting equipment. So always a two-man process system. This is again always taken measurement from a clean array when possible. As I told you earlier in the slide, also the same thing is mentioned here. Like always, we have to always test the solar panel, that has to be clean. Okay, we should always try to test the solar panel without the dirty panel. Even if even the dust is there on the solar panel, that will never give us the authenticate value, and we won't be able to justify those values to to any conclusion basically. So if suppose there is a large deviation from the values, then we have to retake the measurement, and we have to make sure that irradiation level is stable during the test, and irradiation meter is in the same plane as the array. This is the same thing. Like suppose if our solar panel has mounted at a tilt angle of around 15 degrees, so we have to mount our radiation meter also at 15 degrees. So at the same plane, at the same tilt, we can whatever the values we are getting at real time, so after that we will be able to compare the values, what exactly we are getting and what value it should be. So this is the main process, and temperature sensor is coming along with this, and we have to connect to the back side of the solar panel. When connecting, it's a normal measurement tips that the connection should be properly, and spare batteries, we have to always keep the spare batteries with us, and connectors plus equipment, the operating temperature of the equipment uh, between in the range of like 55 degree or 50 degree, around maximum 55 degrees Celsius basically. So these are the some measurement tips we have to make sure while doing the testing. This is the one thing, IV curve. Here IV curve is the current voltage curve. It will give us the current voltage characteristic curve. The electrical power produced by a solar PV panel or a cell is a function of the current and voltage characteristic graph. It will give us the relationship between current and voltage while carrying the electric load connected to the PV cell. So if we are doing an IV curve testing, every instrument has their inbuilt load. Equipment itself has having inbuilt load. So whenever we are connecting with the MC4 connector, the MC3 connector, whichever connector is it there it is. Okay, we have to just when we start the testing, the inbuilt load and the equipment will start working, and it will inbuilt short circuit the solar panel, the connectors, and it will give us the immediate values of all the parameters what we are getting from a solar panel, like open circuit voltage, short circuit current, voltage at maximum power point, current at maximum power point, peak wattage, fill factor, then IV curve, power curve. Here in the picture we can see the blue one is the IV curve, and the second one is the orange curve, that is a power curve. Okay, so IV curve, power curve, all the parameters we will get instantly on the equipment. So with the help of these values, we will be able to justify whether our panel or string is performing good or not. So this is the indication between the IV curve, power curve, and the second one is the orange curve, that is the power curve. Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible now.
Yeah, I'm audible now. Okay, fine, fine.
Yeah.
Gaurav, can you
Then
go
there are,
back to few slides so that people have actually missed few slides?
which
Yeah.
one, sir? This one.
Yeah, start from IV curve. Probably here you broke.
Okay, okay. This is the IV curve. It's a current voltage characteristic graph. So whichever solar panel, if you can see any solar panel, any PV module data sheet, na, you can clearly see there is one IV curve is uh, is mentioned on their data sheet. So that will clearly indicate us the relationship between the current and voltage of a solar panel. It will tell you the relationship between the VOC and ISC. What is VOC? It's open circuit voltage. Open circuit voltage is the maximum voltage what we are getting from a solar panel when there is no current, and vice versa will be applicable for the short circuit current. Short circuit current is the maximum current what we are getting from a solar panel when there is no voltage. So this is the indication between VOC and ISC. You can see the clearly the blue line, that is the IV curve ISC. It's starting from ISC and it will go and it will end in VOC. Okay, it's a when the ISC is at the maximum point, the voltage will be zero, and when the voltage is at maximum point, the ISC will be the zero. So this is the relationship between the IV curve. This is the main thing what in every aspect, like in every power plant, whether it's a power plant or it's a you can see if you are testing a solar panel or if you are testing a complete string, this is the main things from which anybody can justify, anybody can conclude whether my solar panel is performing good or not. This is the shape of a healthy IV curve, the blue one. If suppose there is any problem in the solar panel or is complete string, it will completely indicate you there might be some kind of steps comes in the graph, or a reduced voltage or reduced current. So this is the possibilities. It will depend on the number of conditions basically. So and the second one, you can see the red one, that is the red one. The second one, the red one, is the power voltage curve. Okay, and from the ISC you can see it's a one point, that IMPP is the maximum power point current, and the VMPP is there before VOC. It's a voltage at maximum power point. This is the fill factor. Fill factor is the combination of IMPP, like current at maximum power point, multiplied by voltage at power point, maximum power point, divided by open circuit voltage into short circuit current. This is the formula of fill factor. Fill factor is basically, it will tell you the efficiency of a PV module. It should be always in the range of 65 to 75. If suppose the condition is good, if suppose the radiation we are getting at real time condition is good, and the temperature is also, and our solar panel is also completely clean, and in that case, if we have tested a solar panel and we are getting a fill factor suppose less than 65 or less than 60, then there is the 100% possibility that there might be any kind of issue in the solar panel. This might be a micro cracks or a snail trail or hot spot. Anything can happen. So this is one point, fill factor, from which we can identify whether our solar panel is perfectly working or not. This is the fill factor. It will just tell you the, it's, as I again told you, if suppose all the parameters are okay, then it will clearly always in the range of greater than 65. And if suppose the conditions are okay but your module is not perfectly working, then in that case it will always less than 65 or less than 60 always. This will be the part of like this will indicate from this scenario will be applicable for the basically for the monocrystalline or polycrystalline panel. If you are testing a thin film, then the fill factor will always be at the lower side, around 50 or 55, because the short circuit current at thin film solar panel will always at the lower side. This is the PV module datasheet. As we can clearly see, PV module datasheet is having their own IV curve, and it will tell you the measured curve and the STC curve comparison, because when a solar panel is getting manufactured or it's a quality testing, it will test at STC level. It's a standard test condition level. In that condition, the radiation would be 1000 watt per meter square, temperature would be 25 degrees Celsius, and the air mass would be 1.5 meter per second. These are the conditions. It's a lab condition. So as we can clearly understand that in the field we won't be able to get same exact STC condition in the field. So how can we justify? Suppose if you are getting a ABC parameter at 700 watt per meter square and 45 degrees Celsius temperature, then the software will translate into STC condition, and it will tell you that this is the exact value you are getting at after 1 year, and companies like module manufacturer is saying this value. So we can compare both the values and we will be able to justify how much our module has degraded right now, as we can calculate the degradation of a solar panel with the help of STC values from the instrument or from the module manufacturer's values. It's a pre-installation testing the modules prior to installation, save time in the long run. Yes, in the power plant, basically, as we are importing, as number of companies are importing the solar panels from various overseas countries. So what they are doing, suppose if they are installed, if they have imported or they have purchased, suppose 50,000 solar panels. So what they are doing, they are testing the panels before installation randomly. So they will be able to say like, yes, suppose if I have purchased 330 watt peak solar panel, I have found every panel I have tested, suppose 1000 number of panels, I found each and every panels are working properly. So we can conclude this kind of pre-installation testing also. This is the commissioning. It's a power plant. It's a commissioning basically. As we all know, the solar panel is coming with a product warranty of 10 years and plus like up to 25 years. So IV curve is the one benchmark what module manufacturers and what the installers are taking care for their future references after 1 year, or because as based on the standards, as we all know that solar panel has been degraded 2.5% on first year, then 0.7% onwards. So based on that, every installers and O&M companies, they thought they always taken care after 2 years my solar panel will be degraded around 3 years. And suppose if any of the circumstances it goes beyond 3 or around 5 or 6, then they will be able to claim the module manufacturers with the help of these kind of tools, as these tools are based on completely complying the IEC standards, IEC 61829 and 62446, and these standards are completely acceptable in the worldwide industries. Ongoing operation and maintenance. IV curve tracing is the powerful tool in the PV operations and maintenance, and quickly troubleshoot, like as we all know that these equipments are totally using for the troubleshooting. If in one words, if you want to say, then we can say it's a first aid box of a solar power plant. If suppose in any of the single day we are getting lesser power from any of the inverter, and in one of the inverters suppose 7 combiners has been connected, and each combiner is having 8 strings, so we can test each strings properly at a particular, suppose if the radiation is 700 watt per meter square and temperature is around 40 degree, and we have tested 8 number of strings, so we can conclude in one of the string I'm getting lesser power and lesser current and everything as compared to 7 others. So in that case we have to go to each individual module testing, and we will be able to identify the exactly which panel is not performing as per the expectation. So after that it will be further we have to call the module manufacturers, or we have to do the thermal imaging. It is a further process, but this is the quickly troubleshoot solution for with the help of these kind of tools. Then two kind of issues are coming, like it's a reduced current or reduced voltage. Reduced current will clearly indicate a issue. It will be, as we all know, that current will directly depend on the radiation. If suppose radiation is lesser, less than 700 or 600 or 500, it will directly impact your short circuit current and IMPP, these two values. So we have to make sure while doing the testing that the radiation level should be or should always be at the upper side. Then potential earth leakage or micro cracks will also be the possibilities for the reduced current. Then reduced voltage, it will be reduced voltage will be the it's a VOC, it's open circuit voltage. This will be might be effect of bypass diode failure or PID losses. So these kind of problems we might face regularly in our solar power plant while doing the testing. IEC, ISC and VOC. Step Davy curve, this is the green one is the green curve is the healthy curve. Basically the healthy curve will be look like this, and if suppose any of the problem is there, or any of the shedding is there, or micro cracks, or this kind of issue is there in the solar panel, then the step Davy curve will come. The yellow one is the step Davy curve. It will come like this, or and this will clearly indicate that 100% there is some problem, and then we have to further investigate that particular solar panel for our for any of the conclusion. Here these are the tools basically which we can use to test a solar panel, to test a complete string. If you want to test a combination of strings, that also you can measure, whether it's a 1000-volt system or 1500-volt system, we can use these kind of tools. The first one is the SF200R. It's a survey tool. We can measure the instant radiation value, then ambient temperature and module temperature with the help of this tool, and it has inbuilt inclinometer and compass that will give us the tilt angle and direction. The second one is the PV150. It's the normal array tester, as we can test a single panel or a complete string. Parameters like open circuit voltage, short circuit current, earth continuity, insulation resistance, then string current and power. These all parameters we can get from the PV150 equipment. This we are supplying here in India and neighboring countries, and also in the Gulf countries. Then the next is the PV200. The PV200 is the advanced version of PV150. PV200 has all the features what PV150 is having. The plus point is PV200 is an IV curve. So apart from the all the PV 150 features, PV 200 will give us the extra parameters like VMPP, voltage at maximum power point, current at maximum power point, peak wattage, fill factor, IV curve, power curve. Then it has inbuilt software, and the software will extrapolate that real-time values to STC value at 1000 watt per meter square and 25 degrees Celsius, and that will, after that we will be able to calculate the degradation factor of a solar panel, how much it has been degraded right now. This is the function of PV 200. It's a completely a performance tool for the performance analysis. And the last one is the Solar Utility Pro. And as we all know that right now solar panel is coming with the maximum system voltage of 1500 volt. So Solar Utility Pro is applicable for 1500 volt and 40 ampere system. Here in these two equipment, you can see it's a 1000 volt and 1500 volt. As we all know, earlier in India, basically plant were installing in the range of 1 megawatt, 5 megawatt and 10 megawatt maximum. But right now, from last 2 years and 3 years, we can see, and as we are clearly seeing, the plants are getting installed in the range of like 100 megawatts. No one is talking about less than 50 megawatt, 50, 100, 200, 300. So in that case, what they are doing, they are combining two strings in parallel condition from Y connector, and after that they have connected their strings to the SMB or SCB level. So for that particular case, we have a solution. We are providing a solution for the 1000 volt and 1500 volt system with a higher current rating. If suppose two string has been connected parallelly, and one solar panel has the ISC capacity of 9 ampere, so and two string is combined parallelly, so we will get the current rate ISC in the range of 18 ampere, might be around 17 or 16. So this is the advanced version, 1000 volt 20 ampere or 30 ampere and 1500 volt 30 ampere system. This is again the same tool, same IV curve tester. The difference between earlier equipment which I had just shown here, PV 200 and this one, this solmetric equipment is highly accurate as compared to CVD, as compared to that equipment. This is a highly accurate equipment, and this is completely acceptable in the industries. And all the parameters what we are getting, like uh, VOC, ISC, VMPP, IMPP, peak wattage, fill factor, IV curve, power curve. Plus, we will also get the performance. As you can see, the performance, it's 101.2. You can also get the performance level of your solar panel or string, whichever you are testing. It will give you the lump sum idea how much your module is performing at that particular radiation and temperature. And there's a fill factor, and this is the IV curve, power curve and STC curve we will get on the instrument. This is the way how we need to connect the equipment. Same process again, MC4 connectors is coming with this. You just need to connect the cables. Then it's a soul sensor coming along with this. This is for the radiation measurement. As we all know that if you are measuring an IV curve, we must require the radiation value and temperature at that time. Then only we will be able to, if we are not getting the radiation and temperature value, then we won't be able to, then there is no point to test the solar panel. So for that purpose, the soul sensor is using to give us the radiation value and temperature and angle, coming with 2K type thermocouple. This is the software. In the software you will get the same screen, and here we need to create a project. So every time when we are going to start the measurement, first we need to create a project. We have to go to file, click on new project. We have to put the latitude and longitude of your particular site. Array type will be fixed, array azimuth will be 180, and the time zone will be India. We need to select from that arrow mark. Then we have to click on next. Again, 18,000 PV module data is already feeded in the software. 18,000. We have to select the module manufacturers. After that, we have to select the particular model. And if suppose if you are testing any of the solar panel and that data is not available here, there is the option of new custom. We have to just put their values on the software, and after that lifetime this value will get stored in the system like this. It's a nominal power, PMPP, IMPP, open circuit voltage, short circuit current, and temperature coefficient with respect to voltage, with respect to power, and with respect to current. This is the most important parameter, temperature coefficient, while doing the STC conversion. It's a symmetric tree builder. So if suppose we are measuring a single panel, here you can see module per string, we have to write it 1. If suppose we are measuring a combination of panels, suppose 14 panel has been connected in series, we have to write 14. And so we can create a complete plant layout before going for the testing. In this software we can create, suppose in our power plant there are 5 inverters. I'm just giving you a rough example. In 5 inverter, and each inverter is having 5 combiner, and each combiner is having 5 strings. So we can create the project like, we can create a layout like this. In inverter there's a combiner, in combiner there's a harness, in harness there's a string. So whatever the layout of your plant, so we can create the same here. And after that we need to click on finish. It will ask you to save the project. The project will get saved like whatever the name, and then we just need to connect those MC4 connectors which I showed you earlier in the pictures, and we need to click on measure now. Once we click the measure now, automatically that same plant layout which we have created earlier, it will flash on the right side of the software, and we have to select the particular string, whether it's a string 1, combiner 1, or whatever it is. We have to select the particular location, and we have to then click on assign and save. When we click on assign and save, the complete value we will get on the screen: performance factor, fill factor, source sensor, then temperature, radiation, all the IV curve, power curve, and STC curve you will also get. Here it is not showing in the picture, but STC curve you will also get in this software. Performance factor is the formula of the performance factor is the P max measured divided by P max predicted. In this you can see there's an option of table. If you click on table now, there's a it will give you 3 values: the measured, predicted, and measured translated to STC. If we are measuring a solar panel of suppose 300 watt peak, and the radiation is 700 again, and the temperature is 40 degree, and we are getting a power of around suppose 240 watt, that will be the measured value. The predicted will be the at same radiation level, at same temperature level, how much maximum power we can get. That will be your predicted value. Suppose the software will assume like this: if suppose there is no losses, how much maximum power at that particular time you can get from the same solar panel. And the measured translated to STC, whatever the measured value we are getting, the software will translate into STC with the help of the formulas, basically mathematical formula. STC calculation STC calculation is basically based on different method, like IEC. One is the IEC 60891 is standard, then other one is the Anderson, then J Blazer, and then DL King. These are the 4 method basically STC calculation is calculated. So every equipment, it doesn't matter whether which of the IV testing we are using, all the IV testers are basically following any of these 4 methods, and we will get all the values. So the formula of the performance factor is the P max measured divided by P max predicted. It will indicate that the value should be in the range of 90% to 100%. If the conditions are healthy with respect to all environmental parameters, it should always be in the range of 95 and 96. And predicted values will always be at the higher side as compared to measured one, because predicted will tell us how much maximum power can we get at the same radiation and temperature level. If suppose predicted values is at the lower side as compared to measured value, then that means 100% there is we have done some kind of mistake while making the project. Then again, this is the formula fill factor, same thing what we have discussed earlier. Once we complete the test, we can create a complete report. We have to click on file. There is an option of export traces for entire system, it will ask you to save the particular project on your desktop. All the CSV file will be stored in your desktop, and the PVA software automatically creates a folder tree. And along with this software, we will get one more software, that is a DAT. You can see it's a data analysis tool. That this particular software is applicable for the testing, but this DAT is applicable for the report facility basically. So whenever we have to create a project, we have to create a complete PDF report that we need to present to our client or to our company. We have to use this data analysis tool. So what we need to do, we just need to export that PVA software complete folder here in this data analysis tool. We have to put the temperature coefficient values with respect to current, voltage and power, and it will give us the all the parameter, including the measured value, including the STC values, including the performance level. That will also include the predicted values, all the IV curve, power curve and STC curve. These all we will get in one complete file, you can say complete one PDF file. And after that we can come to any of the conclusion. If we find any of the if you find any of the if you find any of the readings or any of the measurements, suppose any of the values of performance is getting lower or fill factor, so after that we have to start further further process whether exactly the fault is. So this will give you a idea, and this complete report will give us an idea whether our complete solar panel or strings are performing good or not. These are the few instruments which are using in the solar photovoltaic power plant testing: IV curve tester, PV analyzer. We are also called as PV analyzer, thermal imaging cameras. As we all know, this is also a very advanced tool which is using for the hotspot detection of the solar for the solar panel at temperature level. Then clamp meter up to 1000 volt and 1500 volt. Same thing will be applicable for multimeter also. Then power quality analyzer, if you want to, if at AC side, suppose that these instruments are applicable for the DC side. Suppose at AC side, if you want to measure the efficiency of an inverter, or if you want to measure the power losses between AC and DC or harmonic distortion. So for these kind of measurements, we can use power quality analyzer. And this is also one equipment, EL tester. It's an electroluminance tester. If suppose any micro crack is there on solar panel that we can't see from the naked eye, we can use the handheld EL tester for making a just to basically to identify the micro cracks on the solar panel. And we have we have supplied these equipments to number of EPCs, integrators, consultants, educational industries, O&M industries, electrical contractors, module makers, inverters, etc. These are few of our clients where we have already supplied our equipment, and they are using it from last 6 years, in fact, from last 6 years. And that's all from my side. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Gaurav, for your valuable time. Audience, I'm probably audible now. Sorry, I could not join you in the beginning, but the PV system testing is very important aspect. And we expect, those who have attended this and still online, please keep posting your questions while I'm speaking on your chat box, so that while I'm talking to Gaurav, some of the questions can be taken up. So I would encourage you to, put your questions. It's a very important topic. The importance is such that just imagine that there is 1 megawatt plant, and typically 1 megawatt plant has, one string is about 5 to 6 kilowatt. So 1 megawatt plant will have almost 200 strings, and if it is a 5 megawatt plant, then it's almost 800 to 1000 strings. And if it is a 50 megawatt plant, then you can understand it's close to 10,000 strings, maybe a little lesser. So what happens is, at any point of time, out of so many number of strings, maybe 2 or 3%, maybe 5% strings are underperforming. That if you are not able to check, then it will affect your system's performance in a significant way. And you may remain this unnoticed for a couple of months if you don't do that level of testing. And traditionally, what happens is when you are going to a larger plants, then developers, because to save the cost and all, the initial plants which were done in India were having typically the designs which are like string level SCADA. So the information was to be collected at string level, or the plant design used to be like string monitoring, wherein for every string of your plant you are having the details. But now this trend has moved from string to the the string combiner box level monitoring, and for that purpose, these equipments become very important. The another aspect is, whenever your PV panels are not performing, uh, you don't have too many options to just catch hold of your module supplier. So if you are not able to do catch hold of your module supplier, that boss, you gave me these modules and these are not performing, then he will have a very convenient answer to say, sir, check your system, maybe the strings are not working, maybe your wires are not good, this and that. Even if you have done all those things, then also they will keep escaping, because it is very difficult for a developer to pinpoint the fault of a module supplier. We have our experience dealing with these type of claims. So Gaurav, I have a question with you, how your systems have been acceptable to the module suppliers as a claim for
Absolutely.
the underperformance of the module?
Absolutely, sir. Very good question. Actually, sir, from my experience now, from last 3 years, okay, I have seen companies like Renew Power. I'm just giving some name, Renew Power and Acme. They are taking claim for from companies like BYD, Ja Solar, and Vikram Solar from these equipment. These equipments are totally acceptable in the market, especially Solmetric, because the accuracy of the Solmetric current and voltage is only 0.5%. And all the testing laboratories and all the testing facilities like UL India, whether if you're talking about the UL India, TUV, and this kind of agencies, they are also using our equipment. Same Vikram Solar and all the companies are using our equipment. So these equipments are totally acceptable in the field. If you are saying that our sir, we have taken a solar panel from you and it is not performing as per the expectation, so they might ask you to give us the data, and then you will do the IV curve. You will the software will extrapolate it into STC, and you can give the same report to the module manufacturers. Then what they will see, what they will do, they might have the same kind of equipment. They will also come along with this equipment at your site, or some of their engineers will come at your site, and they will test with the same kind of equipment, and they will clearly see, yes, there is a point. You are saying a valid point, our panel is not performing. Then there is only two option. Like suppose there's 2 point is there, then what he will do, he will test one of the solar panel in their lab on the sun simulator. In sun simulator, we can clearly say that the accuracy is very much higher as compared to the on field testing equipment. But yes, it will give us the a rough idea that 100% this module is not performing as per the expectation. After 2 years it should be like less than 3% from the module manufacturers what he is claiming, but I'm getting it around 5% or 6%. So in that case, you will definitely get the claim from the module manufacturers. This is from my experience. I have faced this from last 3 years number of times from number of companies. That is why these equipments are completely acceptable in the market.
Yeah, Gaurav, you are perfectly right. In fact, I have got yet another question. I'm just asking these questions on behalf of maybe participants' point of view as well. See, you won't have the the real testing conditions in the field. Say for example, you will never have something like 1,000 watt per meter square as a solar radiation at which the typical IV curve is provided by the supplier. So on one side we have got a standard IV curve which is provided by the supplier, and at the same time if we are having a actual IV curve tested under the varying solar radiation, maybe it is measured at 700 watt or 650 watt or whatever best possible conditions. So of course these two will not match. Okay, in that case, how we deal, because it is not possible for the people to every time take it to a sun simulator and put it into the lab and those kind of things.
Absolutely, the same thing. The equipment, that is why the equipment IV curve tracer is most important tool nowadays in the power plant. Basically, the main reason that it has the facility to extrapolate the real-time values into STC. Okay, suppose if we are getting a radiation of 700 or temperature around 40 degree and we are getting X values, the software will extrapolate it into STC and it will consider it as the same as 1,000 watt per meter square and 25 degrees Celsius, and it will give you a value of suppose I'm just giving you one example. Suppose if there is a 300 watt peak solar panel and we have tested at ABC radiation and ABC temperature, we are getting a power of around 240 watt at real time condition. The software will extrapolate it into STC at like STC condition, and it will give you a power of around 290 watt. 290, and module manufacturer is still saying it's 300, and suppose your panel is 1 year old example, then after 1 year the degradation would be around 2%, 2 or 2.5% we are considering. So, okay, so now we will not compare 290 with 300. We will have to compare 290 with 300 minus 2.5%. that means around 6 watt will be lesser from 300, so it will be now 294 watt. Now we will compare 290 watt from 294 watt, then we have to justify, then we can exactly say that yes, degradation factor would be like 1% or 2%, then only we can compare the module manufacturer's value or the IV curve from the software or instrument IV curve values, basically, sir.
Yeah, perfectly right. Prem, do you have few questions? If you can read out, we can take up with Gaurav. I'm not able to see on my system.
Sure, sir. So the first question is, what is the time taken to do performance testing of 1 megawatt power plant at field?
1 megawatt power plant, again I tell you now, it will depend on the condition, number of condition. Okay, suppose from morning 10:30 to 3 o'clock or 3:30 you can do the testing. Okay, so like might be some kind of suppose if you started testing today, in a single day you can test minimum of 120 to 150 strings, 100%. If your engineer is doing perfectly working perfectly, and you can clearly test 120 to 150 strings at a single day. So if you are testing a 1 megawatt plant, I think around 15 days or 12 to 15 days you can complete the work, from 10 to 12 days. Because you can also consider few days, like suppose if there is no less radiation at particular day, or if there is a rainy season, or any kind of things might get happen on any of the day. So we are taking it as 10 to 12 days.
Is there any other question, Prem?
Yes, sir, we have a couple of questions, and the next question
you
is,
can just filter out a few good questions you can take. It's not possible to take all, but maybe five questions you can take.
Yes, sir. Can we rely on software generated IV and power management for degradation calculation solely on?
Absolutely, from the Solmetric, especially from the Solmetric, you can clearly rely on that software values. Okay, because it is the whatever the STC value it is calculating, that is based on DL King software method. Okay, and that has been thoroughly accepted in the, not even in India, I'm telling you, not even in India, even in overseas. I have supplied, even I'm supplying these tools. Okay, so I have supplied these tools to in Namibia, even in Zambia, Morocco, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, everywhere it has been completely accepted. Okay, there is no even a single instrument in the market which comes along with better accuracy than Solmetric. So it is completely acceptable. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir. One
Hello.
minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Prem, go ahead.
Yes, sir. And the next question is, in a larger megawatt range plant, and what is the strategy adapted for selection of SPV panels for performance testing in the field so that the time for testing can be minimized?
Again, the same thing. Suppose if you want to make, there are two things. If you want to make a routine test, okay, then you can clearly do the routine test, because some companies, what they are doing, they have specified their routine that from every 1 month or 1.5 months we will see, one time we will completely do the IV curve testing or randomly. Okay, this is the one method. Or second method, you can clearly see the, on the SCADA, you can clearly see what generation you are getting from each of the inverters. Suppose in any of the day, from any of the inverter, we are getting a lesser power as compared to the last day, and even the radiation was okay and temperature was good, not even the dust is there, then there might be 100% there is a possibility that there would be some kind of fault. So in that case, what we will do, in that particular inverter, number of combiners had connected, so we have to go to each combiner and we have to test the at the string level, and we will be able to justify in which of the combiner or in which of the string there is a fault, or we need to go to module level testing.
Yeah. Any other question, Prem?
Yes, sir. And the next question is there any standard for low light should be considered below 600 watt radiation?
No, I'm telling you, because if you see the manual of any of the equipment, okay, because what you can see, the software will translate the measured value into STC1. Suppose if the radiation is at the lower side, then it will directly impact your current value. And if suppose the current, suppose standard the current is 9 ampere and we are getting a radiation of around 400 watt per meter square only, and we are getting a value of around 4, only 4 ampere ISC, and IMP is around 4.3.8 or something like that. Okay, so the software will extrapolate measured into STC. Suppose if the measured is at the lower side, that will directly affect your STC values. So that is why, that is the main point. We always consider that even at good radiation level, we have to consider the testing, because the gap between the measured radiation and the STC radiation should always be at the lower side. Suppose if you are measuring at radiation level of 800 and at STC it's 1000, then the gap is around only 200 watt per meter square. The accuracy will be very good. And suppose if you are measuring at 400 and the STC at 1000, the gap is 600 watt per meter square. This will directly impact your final values. So there is no point to test. Even if you can test at 100 watt per meter square also, there is no point. Okay, there is no issue, but there is no point, you won't able to get any authenticate result, and you won't be able to justify anything.
Okay. Now, probably the last question you can take. This will be the last question.
Yes, sir. And the rest of the question is about the webinar on demand, and we have a few greetings
Okay.
from all those participants and for
Okay.
conducting the
Okay.
webinar as the webinar was.
Thanks, Prem.
Yeah.
Thanks, Prem.
Thank you.
Friends, we are thankful to Gaurav for sharing his time, and please keep attending our webinars. We are having our upcoming webinar also. As we discussed, the market is actually moving towards 1500 volt DC system. So there are, a lot of issues while we gear up for the 1500 volt systems. So we are bringing our upcoming webinar on 1500 volts DC system. This is being conducted in association with Trina Solar, and one of their technical expert will join with us. Do we have his name with us?
Yes.
Yes.
Anil Poluru.
So, yeah, Anil Poluru will be joining with us on this topic. It's a very important topic because you know, the 1500 volt DC system has become a new trend, and the design considerations are also changing. And this is a approach towards, you know, cost optimization. Whatever you are finding, you know, highly aggressive tariffs and all, you know, some of the design things are also being changed. And because of that, just imagine that you know, we were doing a string roughly about 20 modules. Now about 35-36 modules are there in one string. And then we were doing a single string of, you know, some 300 watt module, but now the modules are available right up to 450 watt. That makes, you know, and then as Gaurav rightly discussed, you know, Y connectors and all. So your individual string block becomes you know, very big thing. As compared to a 6 kilowatt, it is roughly about, you know, 20 to 25 kilowatt block which we are designing. So the design parameters change significantly, and what all are the precautions we should consider while, you know, considering a 1500 volt? Are we really prepared? It is not the question of having a inverter and module of 1500 volt, but even we have to gear up for the balance of system also for you know, this level of things. So join us for you know, this webinar also, and we appreciate your time. Finally, you know, I have got some very important participant. Let me see if they are available to speak a few words about our webinar. We have got Mrinal Chaudhary ji. I am making you presenter, Mrinal sir. Prem, can you unmute him, Mrinal Chaudhary ji from ADA?
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
If he can speak to us a little bit.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Mrinal sir, welcome for attending our webinar. I know you have been attending it for quite some time, and it encourages us to, you know, people like you who are, you know, putting your time and you know, attending us, then it encourages us. Sir, your remarks. Probably we are not able to connect him on audio. No, sure. We will end up our webinar at this point if he is not available. Thank you very much, participants, for you know, attending this webinar, and keep you know, visiting our website for our upcoming announcements. This will encourage us to, you know, do more and more this type of initiative. Of course, we are in the transition phase of the COVID lockdown, as well as you know, unlockdowns, whatever you will name now this phase. But still we are passing through a tough time, and industry has to adopt best practices, and our approach to share knowledge is to enhance the best practices in the industry. Thank you very much, all of you. We'll end the
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. So we have one more question.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So what is the market potential for testing and monitoring of solar plants in India?
Gaurav, please go ahead.
Okay, there's a very huge market for this testing and monitoring in the for solar panel. I'm telling you, because what basically every company, those who are installing the solar power plants, and they are basically operating the O&M for that power plant for 5 years. After 5 years, when the solar panel gets degraded mainly, they will always look for these kind of testing solutions. Okay, at that time developers will throw his hands from where I can get the equipment, or from where I can get such kind of companies, those who are doing third party testing or third party plant evaluation. So this is a very huge market. I'm telling you from my experience from last 2 years, I have seen 5 to 6 companies, I will not name those, 5 to 6 companies, those who are getting constantly, they are getting business from solar companies for the power plant testing, only for the power plant testing, IV testing and thermal imaging. These two are the vital business segment in the solar field right now.
Yeah, you are right, Gaurav. In fact, the thermal imaging itself is the first level, and then you should go
Okay.
to the next level, that is the individual module level testing. Because in some people asked a question that how much time it will take to check or a 50 megawatt plant. So friends, I will also add that even before you go to the plant, you have got the plant SCADA and all. You should do a homework. Okay, so the homework is required that based on SCADA also you can find out which are the underperforming strings and which are the best performing strings, and you can apply a rule known as golden string rule. You can do a little bit of Google, you will understand about it. Golden string rule is that in your site conditions, what is the best possible generation is happening. So maybe few strings are qualifying to that golden string level, and if others are not able to reach to that level, then your effort is to bring those strings also to the golden string level. So that is the requirement. Maybe Gaurav, we will do a few more things with you guys.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, this is a a new business opportunity to the people who are working in solar. If you really want to make your career as plant O&M and testing consulting, or those type of thing, then you should have a thorough knowledge about these things. The problem is that people are jumping without even a basic knowledge, because they believe just adding modules and inverter, it's done and it's over. So solar looks pretty simple in terms of the overall system, but it is not that system. You don't even know where all the electrons are moving. You don't even understand like how a 1500-volt system is so dangerous to you. So at times people are not even aware about the integracies. People are just opening their MC4 connectors by bare hands. Please refrain in doing such type of things, and have little bit of knowledge about these things, and that's the reason we want to share our knowledge with you. In last, I will try one more gentleman who is attending this webinar, Mr. Rajkumar Nagarajan. Rajkumar Nagarajan is in CPRI. Can you unmute him? We should take. He incidentally have been my batchmate as well. So Rajkumar, if you are hearing us, maybe we will take a closing remark from you, because CPRI is also doing a lot of testing.
Yeah, good evening, Sanjay. Good evening to all the participants. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. Please go ahead.
Yeah, really, it was wonderful. It was an excellent webinar on testing and monitoring of solar plants. It's a new area.
Yeah.
It was really wonderful. And the knowledge shared was very good. It's an upcoming area. So the next one, what you have suggested, moving towards 1500 volts DC systems. So that is also a very important point for concern. So really, it's very nice. And I think during this pandemic period, First Green is organizing a series of webinars. So today, this was very attractive to me in our area of work, so I attended. So keep doing the good work, sharing of knowledge.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Dr.
Rajkumar.
Sanjay.
Thank you, Rajkumar. In fact,
all the best for upcoming webinars. Thank you.
Please keep attending this, and this is what we achieve. The old friends are connected through these webinar platform. It is wonderful. Thank you all participants. Keep attending us, and we end the
And
webinar.
one more thing I'd like to say, sorry, sir.
Yeah, please,
If suppose if there is any question is there, na, please write me on my mail, okay, and I will immediately get the answer and revert back to you,
yes, yes.
so that they will be able to see it. Okay.
So Prem, whatever questions we have received, you can also share with
Please.
Gaurav, and any
Yes.
further question, participant can mail. There is an email already given in our announcements, and you will get answers to even your future questions. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gaurav, sir.
Thank you.